Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be teaching us how to install a zipper perfectly to avoid any misalignment issues. So this is what I mean by misalignment. Most times you see people fix zipper and then you notice that at the half length, this is a gown. You can see from here to here, this is the half length. You notice that the zipper is not aligned at the half length. You see that the left is up and the right is down, maybe with some inches, and that's a misalignment issue. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us how I am able to achieve a perfect alignment without having one up and down. So I'm sharing with you what works for me. So I'll be using this gown to show us how to do that, and this is a flare gown. Okay, and you can see I have already ironed my zip allowance of 1 inch. I've done the same thing on the other side. So now the first thing you're going to do is to measure from the neckline here to the half length. You want to make sure that what you have on the left is the same thing with what you have on the right. So here I have 13 and 3/4 here. So I'm going to measure the other side as well. I still have 13 and 3/4. So you need to make sure that when you are stitching the upper part to the down part, you stitch with the same seam allowance. Don't stitch the left with ½ inch and stitch the right with 1/4 inch. Those are the things that can cause that difference in their length. So having said that and having confirmed the length, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll bring in my safety pin and pin this point, that's the half length here. Since they are already aligned, I'm going to pin this point. Okay, so having pinned the half length, you want to make sure to confirm and be sure that it has not shifted in the process of trying to pin it. Okay, so once I'm sure that it is pinned accurately, then the next thing I'm going to do now is to measure the length of where I'm going to have my zipper. So from the neckline here, I'll measure down to 20 inches. This is where I want my zipper to stop. This is a flare gown, so it's going to open up. So this 20 inches, the length is okay. My zipper here is 24 inches, so I'm going to have the excess going down. Okay, so having marked this point, the next thing I'm going to do now, I will stitch from this point down to the hem of the gown. And take note that I've also pinned the hem of the gown to make sure that one is no longer than the other. Okay, so I'm just going to place it correctly like this, and then I will stitch on that 1 inch that is my zip allowance. Please ignore the background noise. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you. So I've stitched my seam allowance down. So I remember I've already ironed my zip allowance so I can see my crease line. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the zipper I'll be using. So you want to make sure that the head of this zipper goes below this point where this stitch started from. So I'm going to just bring it down a little by like 2 or 3 inches. Can you see? And then I'll secure it with my pin here. You want to make sure that this crease line you ironed for your zip allowance, that your zipper sits on that point. Then I will pin up to this point like this. So having done that, the next thing I'm going to do is to start stitching this side now that I have pinned. I'm not using a zipper foot. I'm using my normal machine footer. That's the presser foot of my machine. Okay, so I'm going to start stitching. First, I'm going to 45, that's back stitch. And I'll start using my normal presser foot. Just take note. You notice that one leg, that's the first leg of my presser foot, is sitting on top of the zipper teeth. That's this part. It's sitting on top of the zipper teeth. And then my needle is just landing close to it. It's not landing on top of it. Okay? But if you are using an invisible zip footer or a zipper foot, that way you don't have to. That one just has a way of coming really close. So let's continue. I'm making sure to stitch on my the zip allowance I ironed. Getting to this point, I'm making sure that my zipper teeth, this is where I'm referring to as the zipper teeth, that's the opening of the zipper. You want to make sure that it's laying on top of that's on the middle, that's this joining here. And you see that so that your zipper does not shift to one side, let it be centralized. Okay, just use your hand to control it. If you use your hand to control it, you will have it sitting in the middle. Okay, then I'll back stitch here at this point. So we are done with this side of our zipper. Just going to cut out my thread. Can you see that my zipper is so close you cannot see the zipper cloth? All you are seeing is the zipper teeth, that's the opening. Can you see? So now to sew this side, I'm going to flip now. Of course it has to turn this way now. Now before I start stitching this side, this is a sewing hack that works for me so that you don't have to fix zipper several times and keep losing, all in the name of trying to align your zipper. So this is what I'm going to do here now. This is where our half length is. I'll make sure to align the half length because this thing has a way of shifting by itself. So once I align the half length, I will pin it down and then flip it to the right side and check to be sure that it is well aligned. So can you see that right now you can see that it's well aligned. The half length here is the same, is on the same level with this one, this other side. So now this is what I'm going to do. Like I earlier said that this works perfectly for me. So I'm just going to run a stitch here, just like a basting stitch. I'm not going to fortify that. I'm not going to back stitch. I'll just run a stitch here to keep it down. Despite the fact that my pin is here, I'm going to run a stitch to secure this point. You see? So once I've run my stitch there, you see that it's still very much aligned. So this is just to keep it intact. And then I'll go ahead and pin the other side. That's I'll pin the neckline now. I want to make sure that it's also aligned at the upper part. I'll be pinning exactly on my zip allowance. So here we are. I'll pin here as well. Okay, and then I will start stitching from the down part now. So before you start stitching, make sure everything is well open. And then I'll place my presser foot again, one leg on top of the zipper teeth. I'll bring down my needle and then I'll fortify. It is back stitching, okay? And then I'll go ahead and start sewing. So when I get to this point, I'll just take off my pin. Okay, so I've fortified at the end here. So now let's turn our outfit to the front. So this is what our gown looks like in front. Can you see that my half length is well aligned? With this little hack of mine, I am able to fix my zipper once without having to lose and try to align it. So when you do this, you just notice that everything will just sit well with your zipper. Can you see how nice my zipper is sitting at the back? Very flat and beautiful. Can you see? So now for the upper part, I'm just going to open up the zipper like this, and then I'll fold this head down. Once I fold it, I'm just going to stitch it. This is because I don't want to stitch in front. So I'll stitch it inside here. I'll just stitch it down. I'll open up the zip allowance like this. And then I'll also fold the zipper head, that's this upper part like this, and then stitch it down as well. Okay. So I'm done with that. Can you see our zipper is sitting really beautiful, and I don't have any top stitch on top of this part. Everything came out really beautiful. So I'm going to take this to my pressing table and give the zipper that's from the wrong side here, press it down so that everything will be relaxed. If you haven't been ironing your zipper, try ironing it. You will thank me later. I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And also ensure to put on your notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.